you're suggesting in this conversation about astrology is that you understand that once you got here, in other words, your immersion into this time-space reality was perfect every single time. And then you got here and you began offering new intentions, and it's the gap between where you stand and what this vortex is that you are really all about. And so the fact that you didn't just begin when you were born here, the fact that you are and were consciousness coming in, does mean that you did set intentions in motion. And so we are never going to say that there is nothing to all of that, because there is something to all of that. So you get here just as you planned, from an atmosphere, non-physical atmosphere of non-resistance, and came into a time and space, and then began having experiences and continuing the creation by launching your rockets of desire. And so we could say to 100% of you that getting here went really well, because you came from non-physical just the way you intended to, from an atmosphere of no resistance. But after you got here, you started sort of mucking it up a little bit. So that's the part that you're really wanting to focus upon. So one day, early on in Jerry and Esther doing this work, they were at a dinner table with a lot of people who had been at the seminar. They all went to a restaurant and sat around a big table, and somebody had a book of astrology, and it was a few volumes. They were big, big books. And they were passing it around, and they were saying, whoever brought the books, pick your birth date and the time of your birth as nearly as you can, and read what it says. And so it was a great hit. Everyone was passing it around the table, and the book came to Esther at the precise moment that the waiter was taking her order. And so she's giving her order to the waiter, and Jerry said, I'll find you in the book. So he found her in the book. And when she came back to focus on the book, he said, here, and she read it, and she said, oh my God, that's exactly. How precise could that possibly be? And Jerry said, I don't know, I just opened the book and pointed. So what you're wanting to do is measure what you're focused upon, which may be what's ingrained in you, against or with your inner being's point of view about saying. Because we're not saying it's incorrect. We're just saying there are paths of much lesser resistance that you can follow. Connect the current dots. Backstage for Esther, Val always leaves a notepad, different sizes, but she always needs one, because she knows that Esther likes to sit and do a focus wheel, or now Esther's doing her bag of marbles, and so she wants something to write on. And she always leaves a pen. And Esther picked it up, and off she went, and the pen was out of ink. And Esther thought, well, I usually bring a pen, but I didn't bring a pen because I thought there would be a pen. And so she just got on the radio and asked Jared if he had a pen, and he brought her a pen, and that's great. And then Esther noticed this pen that has no ink in it has a stylus on the end of it, and Esther lost her stylus on the airplane. So is it possible that the universe is so on Esther's side that that pen, which was chosen randomly by Val, was chosen for the stylus because Esther can always get another pen? Now, that feels like reaching. That feels like, trying to make something work in this psychobabble mumble jumbo that Abraham is offering. Or is it legitimately the universe always working things out for you, every single thing right down to a minute detail? And is anything really going wrong? And so we're just saying, if we were standing in any of your physical shoes, we'd be aware of what we're offering vibrationally and aware of what that's attracting, and that would be the emphasis that we would be applying. That's the guidance that we would be looking for. You know about prioritization. You know about checking the boxes. You know about there being multiple boxes. You know about the ones that mean the most to you. We are not in any way saying that anything that you're thinking about, any of that, is wrong. Let it dovetail. But you got here, call that a day. and now get on with what you came to be about. You were not born with an astrological chart tattooed to your butt. But you were born with a guidance system to let you calibrate the vibration of your moment in thought with that of your inner being, with this specific, magnificent guidance. And so let's pretend that, well, that doesn't really work, does it? Because cat is out of the bag. Law of attraction does prevail, but let's just assume that the only guidance you've got is whatever's in those charts. That somebody figured it all out before you got here, and now it's your job to dig through all of the whatever it is and decipher what? Your plan for this life? As if you're not deciding it every moment of every day? So here's some questions. What are the kinds of things that someone who has a really good grasp on all of that, what is it you would be asking of that information to provide you in terms of guidance here and now? What do you want to know? How long will I live? To be determined by your desire and alignment with it. If this time-space reality has provided you with a desire, then this time-space reality has the wherewithal to provide it, absolutely. But if the question is, can I maintain my current expectation and get something different? The answer to that is no. And then if the next question is, well, then how do I think different thoughts? The answer to that is want to feel good and practice better feeling thoughts. Because it is certain that as you've asked for it, that the cooperative components have been gathered. So we're asking you to trust the process. That's what religions call faith. It's unseen, but it can be felt. And so if the question is it possible for me to have an active vibration within me so that as I move through moments in time and through space, through segments, through atmospheric law of attraction fields, is it possible for me to practice myself into a vibrational stance where I will have satisfying relationships every moment of every day for the rest of my life? Yes. The waiter at the restaurant, they knew him last night for an hour. He was shy and then he warmed up. And it was the most delicious experience of watching a friendship evolve. So you want to say, and I'm not talking about those kind of fleeting relationships, and we say, we're talking about that one and 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 that 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 one and that one and that one and that one. We're talking about this endless harmonic of satisfying experiences on airplanes and standing in line. And the guy that you buy your water from at the airport who looks forward to seeing you and wonders where you've been. In other words, there's just loveliness all around you. If it's a relationship that is filling the void of loneliness, can't get there from there. Looking for something from that lonely place doesn't bring you what you're looking for. Looking for something from that place of satisfaction. Humans get dependent on other humans. And the relationship that is possible to sustain, that will thrill you all the days of your life, is the one that you accomplish with your inner being, who knows every want and wish and hope and dream, and who's all over it completely, who is focused in a path of least resistance dance, calling you closer and closer to this wholeness that you seek, that you thought was about a relationship with another human. And sometimes what confuses you is that sometimes you meet a human. Esther met Jerry. Oh, what a human. A human who gave her undivided attention, who was already stable in his own world. And when he held her, as his object of attention. Esther realized the other day, his bag of marbles about Esther was about her beauty, her talent, her fun, her wisdom. Those are the only kinds of things he had in his bag. So when Esther came into his atmospheric law of attraction sphere, what was lighted up in him lit stuff up in her that had never been lit up. So she thought it was about him because he lit it up. But what he lit up was who she really is. Did you hear that? So when you realize that what you're looking for is not autonomy, you're not looking to be alone, to prove yourself to the world, you're looking for harmony with your true resources that the astrological charts had something to say about, to use in your present tense, you see. And once you do that, then whatever you want will come into your experience. But if we were standing in any of your physical shoes, we would not say to anyone we're meeting, please stay with me forever because my happiness depends on you. Because that cannot be true. Because that person has self-interests too. That person may not have planned a long-term life even. But your inner being knows where the next and 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 the next of all forms of loveliness are for you. If we were standing in your physical shoes and we had tuned in to what's going on here, we would walk away from this with just a handful of intentions. And if we're standing in your physical shoes, this is what they would be. I accept that I'm eternal and I really like being physical right now. And I love exploring this physical realm because I know how important this physical realm is to the greater scheme of things. I now understand that I'm not here in physical to be tested. I'm here in physical for the pleasure of helping with the expansion, that things manifesting, experiencing the turning from thoughts to things is the furthest most creation in all of the universe. So I, in my physical body, am on the leading edge of this expanding universe. But in order to really enjoy the leading edge of the expanding universe, I've got to approach it from my non-physical point of view, which is what I was doing when I made the decision to come into this physical body to begin with. We would walk out of this room proclaiming, maybe quietly, because a lot of people aren't ready to hear it from you, that I can be or do or have whatever I choose, and that so can everyone else, and that self-interest is a really important thing to acknowledge, and that everybody's got it, and that I'm interested from my perspective, and I expect everybody else to be the same. And I don't expect anyone to sacrifice anything for my self-interest, because I don't need somebody else to sacrifice something for my self-interest, because I and everyone else have a direct connection and relationship with everything wanted. Whatever I choose can come easily to me. I don't need somebody else to get it and then give it to me. I have direct access to everything, and so does everyone else. Does that mean that I won't give somebody a hand up, a leg up, a help up, drag them from the ladder onto the roof up? No, I'll help in every way that I can. I'm just acknowledging that nobody needs to get it from me because everybody has direct access to whatever they want. I've just decided as I walk out of this door that I'm going to demonstrate how easily well-being comes to me.